Hey everybody, it's Istvan82. I am back for more Flatlands whatnot, and let's see. Oh yeah. Sorry, we were doing the Let's Build a Home challenge, and yeah, it looks like we forgot to turn it back on to peaceful, or from peaceful. So no slimes for the moment, I guess. It's my fault. I need to remember to switch that back every time. Anyway, so, topics. So, here's a question. How many of you out there buy used games? I know there's probably a decent market of you, and, oh wow, there's a lot of trouble over here. Because apparently it's kind of a big point of contention in, you know, the gaming industry. And I don't have a sword at the moment. Ow. I needed to make one of those. You know, it's a big point of contention that, supposedly used game sales are going to destroy the gaming industry, even though there's no evidence of this, and, you know, game companies might lose a little bit of money, but a lot of the time, I think it helps them because people are more likely to buy the sequel once they've bought the first game used. Fine. This turned into a pretty big argument on Twitter earlier, which I'm trying to spend a bit more time on. I don't spend as much time as possible on Facebook, you know, but I'm actually trying to involve myself with people. But there's a good bit of, you know, argument going on about how this should be handled, whether or not some people are even saying that the gaming industry should get a cut of used game sales. I mean, this does not sound like a good compromise to me. Because, to be entirely honest, I'm not gonna, I don't have a lot of money. All the money I have goes towards this. You know, I go toward, it goes towards this computer and this, you know, getting games and setting things up for this YouTube account and all that stuff. So when I do have money, it's usually like 20, 25 bucks, maybe. And, that's enough to buy a used video game. That is not enough to purchase a brand new game from some company or another. And, I don't know about you, but I do like video games. I assume you do if you're watching me. But I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of money that I very rarely have on a game that may or may not suck. You know, $20, occasionally below $20 on a random, okay, let's see. Yeah, that's different. I like that Warhammer game I told you I was playing, Warhammer Space Marines. I quite enjoyed it. I wasn't sure I was going to, but it was 20 some odd dollars, so it was worth, you know, worth the risk. I would not have bought it new for $60, even though I probably would have enjoyed it all the same. But I won't risk a giant pile of money on a game that might be garbage. I mean, call me the problem with the system, but if you want me to buy your games, you have to reassure me that they are good. Well, either reassure me that they are going to be very good games and worth the purchase, preferably with a demo of some sort, which not a lot of companies do, anymore at least, or you're going to have to lower the price. $60 is a little, you know, is a good bit of money in this current economy. A lot of people can't afford that every, you know, month when the game they want to play comes out. Yeah, because there are a lot of games coming out rapidly these days. You know, a lot of people, I know I can't afford that. I mean, I sure as hell can't afford that. You know, I can't afford that for this, which, you know, I'm actually putting all of my money into, let alone for personal use. So, it's, It seems to me like the issue here is we are not being assured quality for our money. And if they want to cut off online content for a used copy of the game, that's fine. But there are, companies now talking about cutting off, game content for used copies of the game, or what have you. Yeah, so you might not be able to finish the new storyline. The next Xbox box is actually rumored to be set up so that you can't play a used game in it. Basically the disc will be finalized in your system, which that tells me that if your system goes up and look at the failure rate of Xboxes, then you're going to have to buy a whole new copy of your game. There's going to be no transfer. I mean, they'll probably come up with some sort of transferring system, but knowing Microsoft, it'll be so ridiculously arcane, you won't be able to transfer all of the rights to all of your games over, so. And let's not forget the point of, you, I don't know, lose the disc to your game and want to get a replacement copy a few years later. Or, what have you. You lost it moving, let's say. What are you going to do? Not a damn thing. That's what you're going to do, because you can't buy a new copy because they only manufacture games for a certain number of months before it's no longer economically feasible to continue manufacturing a game that is old. So what's going to happen is there's going to be, well, I hate to say it, but the bootleg and piracy, trade is going to become the only way possible that we as gamers are going to be able to preserve our heritage. And this is a culture. I mean, regardless of what, people might say, gaming is its own culture now. I mean, we have traditions, we have our own language in a way. The gaming culture is very real and it's a very big thing. And if we're going to preserve our culture and our, whatnot, we're going to have to rely on a lot of bootleggers, and that's not something we should have to do. It should be the friggin' game companies. But that's what we're getting at. I mean, or what we're getting to. It's going to get to the point where digital copies of games. I own digital copies of games. Well, that's steps. No, like Minecraft, for instance. Minecraft, it's a digital-only game. There's no actual physical copy of this game that, exists. Eventually, Minecraft will go away. This is something that I like. Eventually Mojang will either stop supporting it or whatever. It'll get bought up by another company, or, they'll all just retire because they've made more money than most subcontinents, so, Minecraft will go away, and the only place we can rely on finding a real copy of it will be pirates. These are facts of the modern age. So, we're gonna have to rely on piracy. I don't support piracy, I want to make that clear, because I believe that you should own a copy of the game if it's at all possible. But yeah, we're gonna have to rely on a lot of stuff that we otherwise shouldn't. So, especially if the trends continue the way they are. Because eventually all of those nice downloadable content games, even for like PlayStation 3 and Xbox, are going to go away. All of the content people paid for the original Xbox Live, before it was, 360, it's gone. It is all gone for good. They even told you, say goodbye to your money, because that's it. So, yeah, eventually all this nice stuff we have, all the digital media we've paid for that we're supposed to own, will be gone. And I don't know. It's a rant. You don't actually give a damn. But, yeah, eventually it's all just going to be a memory. We're going to go, hey, remember that game? I wonder what happened to it. And, if things like, if bills, because there are a lot of bills like the SOPA bill, you know, and ones they're trying to pass in other countries. Eventually, if one of those passes, then of course the piracy will go away that's actually keeping real copies of this around so that years from now we'll be able to go, hey, hey, look at that. I don't know. I think, as a whole, the majority of the video game industry needs to be restructured. Alright. Really? Where are slimes? Probably over there. Oh, no, there's... Yeah, they're spawning closer to my house now that I put that out. Oh, and look at this asshole. Hi, asshole. Anyway. That's not why you're here. I just wanted to share that thought because, god damn it, it's galling. I mean, I will admit, I've bought digital content games. I own a fair number of them. But I, whenever possible, will buy a real physical copy of that game too. Or instead. Because that's the thing. You own a physical copy of the game. You don't own a physical copy of, you know, the downloadable version. If anything happens, you still own that disc. There will still be people out there who develop emulators. And, you know, all that good stuff. You know, or, you know, eventually they'll... Or, like, you know, Xbox and PlayStation 3 are backwards compatible sometimes. I mean, look at the PlayStation 2. Oh, wait, you can't on the PlayStation 3. You'd better own a PlayStation 2 if you want to play PlayStation 2 games. Or, you know, have an emulator on your computer. Anyway, yeah, I think that's just galling is the fact that people don't seem to understand eventually it's all going to be gone if we don't own, you know, take a cue from museums. They own, actual physical copies of things. You know, they don't just keep things on, you know, computers and data storage. They make copies of things so that there will always be a copy of it. And it's important. Preserve your gamer heritage. Preserve it to the best of your ability. It is part of your culture. Buy copies of games whenever possible. Unless, of course, you're supporting an independent developer. I also believe in supporting independent developers. And buy copies of their, you know, digital release games. Look into the Humble Indie Bundle. It's a amazing thing that has done great things for, you know, small publishers who really wouldn't be able to make it otherwise. You know, support them, support everyone in the gaming community. Hell, do what you can. Because I'm just some schmuck that plays video games. I can't do shit. But above all things, I am a gamer and have been for quite a good amount of my life. And this is our culture. I don't know. So anyway, potatoes. Potatoes are good. But they're not good if you find someone whose head looks like a potato. It's true. Because then every time you have a potato, just be looking at it going, this looks like Steve's head. Or whoever they are. I don't know what I'm talking about either. They probably need more coffee. Alright, so we're gonna cover every damn thing in the we're gonna cover everything in habits. I hope you're with me on that, because we need a lot of habits. Wow, English. I failed at it. Oh well. Anyway, I know that was a long rant. Sorry guys, it happens. The damn long rant, anyway. But we're almost done with this house at least. We're gonna need more torches. I wonder if I should just start using the wooden half blocks too. Really? Oh, no, they're not actually. I thought those were all spawning out there on the half blocks, and I was gonna go, oh, so this was actually completely pointless. Neat. And hey, sometimes we must do pointless things for pointless reasons. Alright, let's collect. You're gonna need more torches, though. You're gonna need a lot more torches. Alright. That's a lot of slimes. That's cool. And this does seem to be doing some good. Alright, how many... Well, we could make a small amount more of half blocks, but I guess we're gonna have to start taking down more stone structures. But we're gonna head back and, oh. I guess there's a cave underneath, or we dug underneath us somewhere because I nearly crapped myself. Alright, what's in here? Wood and stuff goes in here. We do need to make more torches, so let's grab this. And we'll put those in the furnace. And we'll turn more of these into half blocks. And keep a few around just in case we need it. We'll put these down real quick first. Why not? I want to try and get all the way to the back of my house if possible. That way, you know, slimes will stop keeping me up at night with their constant noises. Yeah, I know there's actually a lot of argument too over whether gaming is actually a culture, and yeah, or whatnot. People arguing over whether games or video games can be an art form or not as well. And my opinion on the matter is, it's not. It's hard to decide who gets to, or say who actually gets to decide what is and what isn't art. And traditionally speaking, whatever people say is definitely not art tends to be what catches on as art. So, there you go. Alright. Anyway, we're going to call it here. So, I will talk to you all tomorrow, probably about something else a little less badly. Till then, peace out.